Hey, and welcome to map 20 of the Plutonia experiment. This is the Death Domain, and as you can see, the opening to this level is pretty horrid. We've got arachnotrons, we've got bony boys, we've got chain gunners, and we've got a large courtyard here where we're getting shot at from all sides. So the first thing I'm going to do is dive into this sewer here. There's a bunch of imps down here, but there is a super shotgun which is going to be really useful. So we're going to take out the imps down here. We need to be careful because this is not entirely safe for us, because there are some little windows up top there where they can shoot down on us from the courtyard. So we're going to hit this switch. Going to come over here. So there is actually a secret in here. We can grab the rocket launcher. That's not the secret though. So the fun thing here is if we hit this wall panel and then head back to the start of the sewer area, a door opens up, and this is a secret area. There are some mancubus in here that we obviously have to be a bit careful of. There's nothing too dangerous here though. The super shotgun makes this pretty trivial. But when you come in here, you get some ammo and you get some armor, which is really nice. We're still going to just take care of these enemies up here. I don't want too many of these enemies kind of wandering around. We're going to get rid of these guys, because otherwise we will have to face them later on. And to be honest, I just want to get rid of them. So we're going to head over here. So this is a 3-level lift. The bottom floor here, the middle floor there with a chain gunner, and then there's some pinkies at the top up here. So we need to hit this switch here. When we hit this switch, the door in the middle section kind of opens up. So be careful where you step here, because there is a line dev that brings that wall down. There is an arch vial here. We also want to get rid of the Hell Knights here. We don't really want to worry about them too much. The wall opens up there to reveal some chain gunners. So in order to progress here, we have to hit that switch. But if we come and hit this light here, this door opens up and we can get ourselves a supercharge, which is going to be really useful in the next room. The next room, which you can just see through those grates there, is a bit of a nightmare, not going to lie. You really have to know what you're doing in here, in particular running to grab the invisibility there, because there are a bunch of chain gunners who will make easy work of us. It's an interesting room, this one. Nice little trap. The invisibility is pretty mandatory unless you really want to lose a lot of health very quickly. There's some spectres in this very small sewer area here. So the arachnotrons that we killed earlier on outside, they can actually come into this room through the teleporter just to our left there. We can't actually walk through it, however, so you can see there's a chain gunner that's wandered through. This part of the level is really just about making sure you don't get overwhelmed by all the enemies. You can see here, it could be quite easy for that to happen, because the enemies teleporting in, you've got the chain gunners all down here who can shoot at you, and then you've got another arachnotron over there. So this level is pretty nasty in how it lays all these enemies out. You can see there are some chain gunners down there. I am going to see if I can try and get them to blow up here. I don't think I'm going to be able to. But the yellow key card is actually there. So this is another little interesting trap. As we kind of make our way here, you can see that there's some barrels there. I've decided to shoot them. But as we make our way here, you can actually get behind that and bring down that platform there. It does make this bit a bit easier, because it means all the barons of hell will wander down there instead of having to fight them in this sort of open area here, because there isn't an arachnotron across the way that will be sort of shooting at us if we're not careful. We're going to take out these barons here. The problem here is if you haven't cleared out the courtyard down below, you're pretty much a sitting duck for all the enemies that can shoot over here. So you can see the barons there is shooting across the way, because enemies are shooting at us. Oh, and there's an arch vial down there. Lovely. So there's some Hell Knights down this way. We grab this health. So as soon as we open this door, the arch vial is going to try and ambush us. So as we make our way out here, you'll see that there's a bunch of bony boys who've spawned into these little pits here. We need to get rid of those bony boys because those pits are essential. We are going to have to make our way through them. But first I'm going to get rid of the bony boys up top here just because it makes things a bit easier for me. To get rid of that rocket following us. So the reason we want to get rid of these guys is because we have to run into that hole there. And if we don't get rid of these body boys, we're going to have to face all these head on. And the thing is, we have to teleport into this second pit here. So we have to be careful, because look at all those bony boys. Can you imagine having to fight all of those close quarters? It would be an absolute nightmare. Just going to come in here and grab some of that ammo. Interestingly, we can't get into this area in the PlayStation version of this level. This level actually has some broken secrets, so we'll be talking about that as we get to the PS1 version of this level. Yeah, I just want to get rid of these bony boys as quickly as possible. Take care of this last one here. We have quite a few rockets following us at the minute, so let's just see if we can get rid of those. Excellent. So when I was a kid, I actually got a bit stuck at this point because it's not super well telegraphed what you're meant to do here. But you have to actually run over the gate there and drop down to grab the blue key. You can see we teleport to where the other bony boys were, so we would have had to have faced them anyway. So we go into the blue door here. And you can see we could pick up some of the stragglers who we didn't kill throughout the level. There are a few secrets in this area. So there's a megasphere here. There's also a secret there. So there's a bunch of rockets in this area which we can grab. Also, you've got to be careful though, because you can clip that light there as you just saw, and it does make it a bit of a pain to get in here. But luckily you can get inside. So yeah, this is the Death Domain, and it's an interesting level. I think it's actually quite fun, to be honest. It's a very intense opening. It's one of those levels where I feel like if you're not totally prepared, you will get minced down in that opening room because there's just so much going on. Pistol starting this one is also a real challenge because the game doesn't really give you anything in that open room to really fight back. You can grab the plasma rifle, but you've got to run right up to a chain gunner, which is not nice. But I do like this one. I think this is a really fun level. And what's interesting is that for the first time in quite a while, we're actually going to be seeing a PlayStation version of this level. Yeah, so interestingly, this level actually makes it into Final Doom, and it makes it in quite pretty much as a whole, but it does have some problems that kind of come with the translation to PlayStation 1, and I'll show you one of those in a second. But for the most part, the layout of the level is exactly the same, and the monster placements are by and large similar, except obviously for the arch-vials, which are never in the PlayStation versions of Doom. So as we make our way around the sewer here, just going to see if there's anyone coming up to that door. There is not. But as I kind of mentioned in the PC version of this level, one of the interesting quirks that kind of comes with this level coming to PS1 is that they've actually broken several of the secrets, and they've not done anything to put the secrets back in, even though the secrets are all there, which is quite interesting. I'll be sort of showing that off towards the end of the level a bit more. So you can see there are no pink keys here, there's just imps, and they've put the switch in the wall. You can see it functions the same here. Take down these guys. So you can see instead of there being an arch-vial, they've put a bony boy here, which, I guess. So we'll take out the Hell Knights there. If we use a rocket launcher here, we can blow up the barrels beneath so we can drop down if we really want to. No reason we'd actually want to do that though. So what's interesting here as well is that the secret that we used in the PC version to grab the supercharge it's still here. It's just not marked as well. So you have to go up to that wall there that looks pretty unassuming and hit it to still get up here. So you kind of need to know that that secret's there. But you can see we can't actually go through this door. We have to hit the switch over here. They've kind of got rid of the library aesthetic here. They've just made it like a big barren room. So it's the same trap here as well. Bunch of chain gunners rising from around the room. It is an interesting little trap, this one. It's kind of nasty if you're not expecting it, but ultimately, you know, we are deep into Final Doom here, so you know, if you're not expecting traps at this point, I don't know what game you're playing. So we'll head through to the sewer here. There are no spectres here, but there are some shotgunners. More ammo is good. Just gonna head up the steps here. So again, we need to be careful of this room, just because this room can get very crowded very quickly if the enemies start coming through the teleporter, which they probably will, because, you know, that's just how these things work out. There are a bunch of lost souls, but honestly, they're not too much of a hassle. It's interesting as well, they use the brown skybox from Doom 2 in this one. Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense, because Final Doom likes rotating random skyboxes. It doesn't really have any consistent themes in terms of skyboxes. Again, trying to blow up the chain gunners down below. Take out the Arachnotron there. So we're just trying to get rid of some of these chain gunners, because I'm not quite sure if it's true or not, but it looks like there's a lot more chain gunners down below there, and I'd rather not deal with them all later on. Yellow key there, they've added in a strobe lighting effect. So you can see this is very much the same trap that we're about to come into. So as we kind of make our way here, I am trying to trick the trap, but you kind of have to be right on the money with it. Yeah, just missed that one. They've also downgraded some of the enemies here. So you can see I'm getting rid of that Arachnotron from across the way, because I don't want it sort of doing that. So we've taken care of the Hell Knights. So obviously there's not going to be an Archvile that appears in this version. So the main sort of difference in this level is that on the PS1 version here, there's only one pit that we have to sort of clear out. You don't get the second pit in this version. I assume that's because they don't want that many enemies on screen at once, because I assume having that many enemies in such a tight space would cause issues with stability. And you'll see what I mean when we head back down in a second. Let's grab these medkits. Oh, lovely. So we didn't see an Archvile, but we did get an Arachnotron in our face. First, let's clear these guys out. Head over this side. There's two bony boys in this tower here that we just need to clear out. So you can see that there's actually no second pit here. They've only put one in this version. Again, like I said, I reckon it's because they don't want too many enemies on screen at once. I think it would have caused stability issues, just knowing how unstable this version of Doom can be. But you see, that is the structure there that sort of takes the place of the second pit. There's nothing you can really do with it. There's just I think there's just a chain gunner who hangs out in that area. We're gonna head down here. So unfortunately, the dodgy controls of the PS1 version here mean that doing sort of very specific runs like this can be quite a nightmare. Oh. So this may take several attempts. Also doesn't help when there's a bony boy there literally blocking you. So So we'll just take out this bony boy and then we'll try again. I think the annoying thing with this is that the controls aren't even terrible, but they do make precise movements, like being out having to run there, like such a pain. It doesn't help that you kind of have to run on a slight diagonal here. So you can't, not only do you have to sort of line it up correctly, but you have to sort of run, and you can see you can hit that other wall there. If you've never played the PS1 version of Doom or Final Doom, you probably won't appreciate just how sort of stiff the controls can be when you need precision. But now that we've got the blue key, I'm going to show off some of the things in the level. So there's a big tower there. You can see, you can look down. That's where we could have got shot upon. Being shot at from over there. Let's go and deal with these guys before I do a kind of final walk around. So you'll notice here that the secrets are all very much sort of the same. So that platform still comes down, but again, because of the controls, it is a bit of a pain to get in here. It's not as smooth, so, you know, I wouldn't go relying on that. So you'll notice that they've actually changed that to a door. Now, what's interesting is that, from what I can tell, they've actually broken this secret as well. So there's 2 broken secrets on this level, so the line depth for that door doesn't actually work properly, so you can't actually grab the megasphere, which is pretty funny. Like I'm kind of just assuming that they were so over this port when they were doing this level, they were like, whatever, who's really caring. It's also worth noting that you can't grab the blue armor there, so the only way you can really kind of kill these enemies is by shooting them through this grate here, which isn't great, let me tell you. But yeah, it just kind of goes to show you that sometimes when sort of porting these levels, there has to be some care taken when changes are made, because otherwise this kind of thing happens. But yeah, there's no way for us to physically get into where those enemies are there. It's just not possible, like, because there isn't even a no-clip cheat on the PS1 version of Doom, at least not what I'm aware of. So if we kind of go over here, I'll just show you quickly, because I want to just sort of show how uncaring some of these parts of these levels were. This is where you'd normally rub your face against to open the door, but unfortunately it's just not possible. Ultimately, that's all there really is to see on this level. As said, it's a pretty faithful conversion, bar the changes obviously to the second pit and the fact that the secrets are broken. Again, I think it's a very strong level. I think this is one of the stronger levels we've played in Plutonia so far. It's a real challenge, and I'm kind of glad that PlayStation gamers get to experience it in some form. It's interesting that this level is the one that got chosen, however, when I would argue there's several more candidates they could have put in. But again, the PS1 version of Final Doom is very pick and mix with its level selection, so can't really get too annoyed about that. Let me know what you think of this level. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you prefer the PS1 version? And thank you very much for watching.